Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. It came out. I have the wrong notes. Came out in 2010, and it ran 1 hour, 18 minutes. To me, this movie easily could have been called Supergirl.
Yeah.
Taken by Apocalypse. But I understand that the money is in...
The branding.
Exactly. And what I was going to say is the Superman, Batman IP that have existed since so long. What, 1939, 1940?
Superman and 1940 for Batman. Yeah.
Exactly. So, like, I get the title, and no knock on it. There's also, I think, an argument to be made where it could have been the Trinity, because Wonder Woman does play a large role both in the helping of Kara and then the big fight stuff on Apocalypse.
Yeah.
But again, no knock on that. It's just an observation.
Shout out to Big Barda, by the way.
My goodness. Like, I don't know how much you've taken a trip to the fourth world of Jack Kirby's.
Oh, like the New Gods and New Genesis.
Yeah, exactly. New Genesis and Apocalypse. But Big Barda and Scott Free are two of my all-time favorite creations of Jack Kirby's because of their contrasting nature to what you would expect. You know,
true.
She's humongous and strong. He's small but, wily.
Exactly.
And no, I just think that they're so fun. And like you have that Mr. Miracle is what I meant to say. You see his attire in the house, although it's never stated.
His red and yellow jumpsuit.
Exactly.
In there, yeah.
And you never get told specifically where he's at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've always thought that they are among the coolest characters, given all the stuff they went through. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Jack Kirby is one of those creators that, whether it be at DC or at Marvel, has always been able to do outlandish things.
Yes.
Because do you know who he also created?
Fantastic Four.
Well, yes, true. But later, after leaving DC and returning to Marvel, he created the Eternals.
Oh.
So the Eternals were his ability to get back to that mythological. Thank you.
There you go.
Realm of characters where you can be overblown, if you will.
If you look at the Eternals movie, if you just look at even like the costume design, the Kirby, like the circular patterns, the greebles, the piping around the collars, it's like there are two different universes, like the New Gods and the Eternals, but the artistic license and trademark is still there.
Well, it's the idea of Thanos and Darkseid.
Yeah.
They definitely have the same daddy.
Pretty much.
Jack
Pretty
Kirby.
Much.
And so I forget who said it. It might have even been Stan Lee, but somebody told Jack Kirby, I remember him saying it in a documentary. They said, if you're gonna work off of anybody, why not work off the best? And you know what, Jack? You are the best, so just do your thing that you do, but in a different style here for us. And that's how that New Genesis and Apocalypse, Darkseid, all that.
There's so much similar DNA. It's just like, I know there's like comparisons or people up say like, oh, this guy copied this guy copied this guy.
Well, and the beautiful thing is, in this case, the same guy.
I was about to say, like, it's the same guy. So when you look at it, it's like you could isolate both these characters and put them in their own universe, and it would have been a cohesive transition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which That'd
Well,
be
and
interesting, actually.
I think that the idea that Marvel versus DC is more of a fan rivalry than it is an actual creator rivalry
Yeah.
because of, like you said, Jack worked for both companies. Jim Lee's worked for both companies. Many people have been on both sides of the fence, and it never, to my knowledge, is it. Oh, I want to destroy DC or Marvel must fall.
Oh, no, never that.
Everybody that I always hear is like, oh, we all rise together. Like, the success of Superman helps with the success of Spider-Man. And if the Fantastic Four are thriving, then Batman doing great. And, all rising tide lifts all boats or some such stuff.
We have been very fortunate that the superhero boom of movies has gone on for, in some people's cases, like the whole lifetime.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah,
'Cause,
it's
like,
been crazy to where
We're not terribly dissimilar in age, right?
29.
Okay, never mind. We're not as close as I thought we were. But regardless, my point is, and I'll put it that way, grew up on some not so great movies, right?
Yeah.
And now, granted, even the things that aren't great, I can find positivity in, like Ghost Rider, for instance. I
love Ghost Rider.
I thought that they were good, but not spectacular. But like, for instance, Green Lantern, right?
No.
I think that it suffered a lot for not being able to make up its mind on what it wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe it's too many cooks in the kitchen, whatever. But within what, a 20-year span, maybe, probably roughly 20 years, it's just like hit after hit after hit after hit. It's like
good proportionally from what we were getting.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, Green Lantern was in the whole make the bad guy a cloud phase.
That was a terrible phase.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Yeah.
But it's like, just make it a dude at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we're eating good, and I think that
Well,
we
and
gotta
speaking
support
of the
each
cloud,
other.
Speaking of the cloud, though,
So,
Galactus will legitimately be taking a step in First Steps.
I saw that, and is that a miniature set? The dude, he's walking on.
I would imagine
with
so.
CGI. It just the way it looks. The fidelity is so good, and then like how it like kind of like reacted in the shot, and then like they superimpose it in post or whatever. But I'm just looking at it, I'm like, do they got a guy walking around like on a miniature set? Because that would be so freaking cool.
Absolutely, and
Oh,
it'd be
man.
it'd be like a callback to that era
Oh yeah.
of filmmaking, and so just practical is what I mean.
Yeah, the kaiju monsters, the tokusatsu guys,
Yeah.
the giant mechs in the city, like all those guys.
Yeah. But yeah, back to
Sorry,
Apocalypse.
tangent.
No, it's easy. It's so easy to do and fun, to be honest. But when it comes to the Supergirl story in this film, the crash landing, the not being able to communicate right,
Yeah.
being taken away, and then now, granted, this was a part of a deception, but the idea of thinking that was never my home, I was like, it was just, those are really great beats of a way to get behind this character that we have in the world had not yet known. And I don't know, I just thought it was there's some real quality Kara stuff.
Definitely. If you watched the Public Enemies video, I talked about how Batman had to keep his head on a swivel, and he had to deal with these superhuman threats. It was kind of like they showed he was really immortal going up against gods. This movie flips that on its head.
Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much more, but most importantly, the story itself.
He's somehow I understand that like he has like Amazonian armor and just he's that dude, but this man
His bravado.
is hitting the gym in this movie.
My goodness, his bravado to as Darkseid put it, bluff. Although,
Oh my
and then
God.
Darkseid realized, oh, you're not bluffing. I was like, oh, that's That's good quality stuff
Yeah.
right there.
Batman's like, I will kill everyone on this planet. I don't care. And I'm just like, this is how you break your rule, Bruce.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, and I think that's the strength of taking on Darkseid is
Yeah.
it shows how formidable he is, that Bruce is willing to forego his moral compass to stop this Titan. I know that's the wrong person to give the title to, but it's the same
similar
general.
enough.
Yeah, it's the same.
Maybe
similar.
even worse.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I thought this movie was great. Like, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because, like I said, everybody served a purpose. And oh my goodness, the farm fight.
That was good. That was good. Both parts where they both have their turn.
Absolutely. Well, and here's the other thing. I talked to Josiah about this recently. The idea that I find value in Ma and Pa Kent being alive.
Yes. I'm always an advocate for that.
I understand the weakness or the showing humanity to Clark by not being able to save his dad from dying from a heart attack, because that's something he's incapable of stopping. But when they're alive, they bring such life, such vibrance, such humanity to the character. So in both ways, whether it's alive or dead, the Kents really help Clark Kent to me so much. And in this, when they drive up and the house is destroyed, both Kal-El and Kar-Zor-El are saying, "Oh, we'll help you rebuild." And
yeah, it's just like nonchalant. It's like, all right.
Yeah, they just felt like. Have you ever watched the show Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes.
So it just felt like, to me, kids getting caught.
Just a gag. Yeah.
And it was like, even though they're both relatively adult at this point, it's like, at some point you always revert back to be like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, parents, I got this. We'll make it happen."
I'm always an advocate for them because they don't need to die in order to teach the same lessons. I feel like in some cases, they're more stronger for narrative devices to be actively playing off of.
100%. Like, that's what that was one of my favorite things about Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman.
Yes.
Was him seeking guidance from Ma and Pa back in Smallville. And the moment you knew Clark was in a heavy situation is when he'd fly back and they're like, "Oh, we know it's deep because you're not just giving us a call." So yeah, I think that them being alive is invaluable.
Oh, I have 2 more points to make about the movie. One, just a short mention. The fact that she was speaking a different language when she woke up. Loved that. That kind of went away for Apocalypse, but Darkseid knows every language.
Yep.
But like the fact is like, yeah, they would speak a different language. She would be saying something completely different and crazy, and it's like, I like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, so like they do have to, overcome that barrier of, new races and new life forms and stuff like that. Second, I feel like compared to Public Enemies, this Bruce and this Clark seem like they're older.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're 5 years older at least.
Yeah, that feels accurate. Yeah, but on that same topic of Clark and Bruce, their established dynamic feels so real to me.
Yeah.
Because when Kar-Zor-El accidentally or inadvertently destroys Bruce's Bat computer, Clark says he'll pay for it, and then Batman says, "On a reporter's salary."
Yeah.
And so toward the end, Bruce calls him out and says, "You still owe me for that." He's like, "I only make a reporter's salary." And I was like, you guys just feel like real friends and real people, which is a testament to good writing, because clearly one of these guys is flying away and the other one's dressed like a bat. So if you can make them seem real, that's good.
I feel like Public Enemies are, when you look at, Bruce and Clark, I'm like, all right, you guys are 2 guys in your late 20s who got themselves into something deep. And now everybody hates you, and you got to prove your self-innocence. And now I see these guys are in their mid-30s. They've seen it all. They've gotten a nice groove down. They're like, I'll pay you back. I was like, bro, I've known you for 10 years. I know you will never be able to pay me back. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it just...
I love it.
I just like the subtle. I don't know if they did that on purpose or not. I mean, it's still Tim Daly and Kevin Conroy, so who knows? But it just came off like these are the guys that we've been at it for a while. Like Batman's like, you know what? I've been through enough. I bet it could work. Like you would have to have experience and nerve built up to even attempt something like that as a human being.
Absolutely.
So I love that part about the movie.
So this is not about the movie. This is just totally off topic. But I have a bit of an impulse control problem. You might notice by the books. But with that, I have limited myself to only one of any particular character when it comes to action figures.
Okay.
And so it is the Superman figure from this particular movie that I have that represents Superman in my collection. Just because, like, the presentation, the Michael Turner art, he just feels good. Like that version, that visual is like, man, that's some real top quality Superman. I almost thought about breaking that. I don't know if it's called a rule, but that guideline, because they put out these movie line Supermans. Reeve, Cavill, all of them. They were just all the same box style, and I was like, "Ooh, I could get that and display." I was like, "No, no. You have that. The rule exists for a reason, because."
I don't have no such rule. I have about like 10 different versions of Optimus Prime, so
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I'm trying not to have 1,001. That's why it's.
I argue because they have different designs. He's a robot, so he can get away with looking a bit different.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
not
great.
gonna lie. A nice Superman is a nice Superman.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Rebel Tech ones?
So February has like every Rebel Tech figure. Maybe not every, but a lot.
He's that guy.
Yeah, and that's his go-to collection or collectible because of the articulation.
Oh yeah.
And so every time he posts something, I see it. And so yes, I've seen it, and they have so much possibilities.
Those things are like, I have Dragon Ball Z ones. They're next to my Gunpla, and like these guys. If you're trying to draw that specific character, it's a great visual aid. So I always recommend it for that. But I like articulation too. You know, that's why I'm big into some of the stuff they're putting out now for Transformers, which there's a new Megatron that's about to drop. Can't wait for that.
That's exciting.
But like when they have moving fingers, you know, like when you can make them like have some life into them, and it's not even about like the big things. Good articulation sometimes just allows you to put a character in a pose that make it more natural, like crossing your arms.
Absolutely.
But having that little bit of sag or lean to it, it's just, and it gives a Toy Story effect, like it's alive. Like
Yeah, it's a good
right
shout.
there.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the qualities of Toy Story is feeling like there's something behind it. Do you have a final score?
I'll give the last one a 5 out of 5. I'll give this one a 4 out of 5.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you.
Of course.